Hey, what's going on, guys? Trying to be gamer back with another Pokemon X and Y Wi-Fi battle. This one is against his in-game name is Josh, and he's got a slightly mixed tier team. He's got mostly OU Pokemon, and but he's got Gyarados as an OU Pokemon, I believe, Charizard as an NU Pokemon, and Darkrai as an Uber. So, and I got my slightly mixed tier team, which I think all of them are UU or under, and except for Aegislash, which is once again is an OU Pokemon, I believe. So let's get into it then. If this will, load faster, there we go. Alright, so as usual, I'm going to start off with my Dusclops, which I'm thinking about starting to... Oh, yeah, this is also... I actually don't end up winning this game, which is, kind of sucks, but, I mean, it was a really close match, and I think it was a great match, and I could have won it, but I actually misclicked at the very end, and you'll see in a second. So, he's going to go for the Crunch, doing a nice amount of damage, not enough to KO me when he, after the burn, which, has the attack power of all of his, physically, or not physically, but just all his attack-based moves. And so yeah, he's going to take some damage to the burn from the Will-O-Wisp, and he's going to go for another Crunch, which isn't going to do enough to kill me, so that's going to allow me to get off the Pain Split. But he does lower my defense, so I think I switch out after that, because I didn't want to stay in with low defense, because that just wouldn't be smart. And plus my Shadow Ball wouldn't do really anything to him, so I just figured I'd save him for a later, matchup against another Pokemon. So I believe I switch out here into my, let's see, and into my Jazz Hands, aka Mr. Mime, and he's gonna go for another Crunch, and I figured I could take a Crunch decently well, which I do here, and I knew I could definitely KO with the Dazzling Gleam, and I also knew I could outspeed him because Mr. Mime has decent base speed, and even though I'm not running any speed, I'm pretty sure I can outspeed him because nobody really runs speed. I said speed like 20 times there on their Drapon. So he's gonna go into Charizard, and I figured he would go for the Charizard Y. So I just thought I'd set up a Charge Beam here, but I don't even get that off because he's able to get that Stab Flare Blitz on me, and that shows that he's definitely a little bit faster. Maybe Choice Spect or Scarfed, sorry. But it's too hard to tell right now. Although he's gonna be taking some nice damage to the recoil no matter what. So I'm going to switch into my Omastar, and he's going to switch out because of that into his Porygon Z because he thought he could tank it pretty well and do some nice damage with the download. The download on that is very good. It's almost OP, but well, it's not OP, seeing as it's still in OU for that. Not OU, UU because of that. Whatever. Okay, so I go for the Shell Smash, and all of my stats that got lowered are going to be reset to ×1 because of my White Herb, which is it's a pretty good item, especially since I'm running defense on this. So yeah, I'm gonna go for the Scald, which almost KOs it, but it gets the burn on there, which might have been able to KO with the burn, but it's not because he's got the Citrus Berry. So I got kind of fucked there, and then I'm unable to tank that Thunderbolt because of the 1.5 times the special attack from download. Once again, it's taking some nice damage to the burn, which I got kind of lucky there, but it doesn't really matter because I'm just gonna stall it out a little bit. But I thought I was gonna stall it out, but then he actually just goes straight in for the Dark Pulse, KOing me. I wasn't sure what it really runs because you don't see very many Porygons, and it's just kind of a rare sight. But it would have been nice to hold on to it for a little while longer. So I'm gonna go into my Dodrio and go for the Quick Attack because I know I can KO it with the Life Orb for sure. So yeah, that's Porygon Z out of the way, and I think he goes into, Gyarados, there it is. And Gyarados, it kind of scares me, but, because of the Intimidate, I'm going to switch out of there. That's not a good matchup for me, because he could have easily had Stone Edge and KO'd me in one hit, probably. So I'm going to switch out into my Aegislash, and he's going to go for the Dragon Dance, predicting my switch, or just predicting that I wouldn't do all that much damage to him, because he's probably running, HP EVs on there. And with the 0.67 times attack, I'm not going to be able to do much on him at all. So he's going to continue spamming Dragon Dance, and I'm just going to go for the Toxic. At the time, I thought this was a really bad play on this, because the only move that I have that does a decent amount of damage would be Sacred Sword, and you know it's not very effective against Gyarados, but it's still going to allow me to do a nice amount of damage. And if he continues spamming Dragon Dance, that might catch him off guard a little bit. So yeah, which it actually eventually does after a few turns. And as you can see, I do still a decent like 24 or 25% damage right there, plus the poison damage, which is awesome. And you know he's going to keep continuing to try and set up, although he probably should have at this point started attacking me. I figured he'd continue going for the DD, expecting me to go for the King's Shield, so I go for the attack. And now at this point I knew that the poison would definitely kill him next turn, so I just decided to, you know, go for the King's Shield and, you know, tank that pretty easily. Well, obviously easily because he's not even going to be able to hit me. And so that's going to lower his attack, even though it doesn't really matter at this point because he's going to die to the poison. So that was probably one of his biggest mistakes in this match. But, you know, whatever. Everyone makes mistakes, as you'll see at the end of the battle. So he's going to go into his Charizard and going to go straight into for the Flare Blitz. I didn't want to switch into a Flare Blitz. Plus, he'd get, you know, some recoil damage. So I just thought I'd stay in there and, you know, not lose any HP on any other Pokemon. So that's going to bring him down to about 50% HP. And I'm going to go into my Dugtrio because I'm pretty sure I can outspeed him. And I just go for the Earthquake, which is going to easily KO the Charizard X. So yeah, that's Charizard X out of the way. And it did some work against my team, but, you know, whatever. So I'm just going to go for the Stone Edge just to do a nice, or not a nice, but a decent amount of damage before I evidently get KO'd by that, you know, Leaf Blade. I didn't really want to switch into my Dugtrio, even though it wouldn't have been not very effective. I wanted to keep it as alive as possible. So here I'm going to go into my Dodrio, and I'm going to go for the Drill Peck, which is going to KO it. I wasn't 100% sure if that was going to KO it, because Sceptiles are kind of bulky, but it does get rid of it, which is nice. So now I think it's just my Dodrio against his Darkrai. You know, so I consider this a victory because, I mean, oh, here's where I get super lucky. He goes for the Dark Void, and that's going to put me to sleep. But luckily, I wake up the next turn, and you'll see right here, boom. I'm like, all right, maybe this will KO. And I'm like, oh, yeah. Oh, shit. That does about, I don't know, 60, 65% damage. And so he's going to go for the Dark Pulse, and I'm like, oh, fuck, no, I'm not going to live. Boom, live on 1 HP, but then I flinch, which sucks. And I'm like, okay, maybe I'll be able to kill him. And then, no, he lives on 1 HP, and I died in my Life Orb. I think I should have won that, definitely. If I would have gone for return, I definitely would have KO'd him. But, you know, you win some, you lose some. You got to move on. Alright, Jesus, I'm out of breath. I gotta get used to this. So, yeah. Thanks a lot for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.